On the bench today we have a Cobra 142 GTL. Just got done doing a transceiver alignment on this after doing cap replacement, so all the electrolytic capacitors have been replaced. Just wanted to show this one because this is another one that demonstrates why the older radios are so much better than the newer radios. Not that there are very many sideband radios made nowadays. I'm talking CB radios. I'm not talking those illegal black box radios. But this is a good demonstration of why especially those new black box radios absolutely suck compared to the good old FCC, approved CB radios. Those new black box radios just cannot compete with the receive sensitivity of a radio like this. And it's not just this radio, it's not just this chassis that's used in this. It's a really good chassis. But this is just one of those radios that completely unmodified. It doesn't have a receive mod done to it. There's no Schottky diodes. Absolutely nothing else has been done to this other than changing the electrolytic capacitors and a good transceiver alignment. And with just that, so basically it's had a transceiver alignment, because changing the caps shouldn't really change anything, unless, caps have gone bad, which actually the output power picked up on this, so apparently some of the electrolytics were starting to go out on it, but, and it's just due to age, because it is an older radio. But, like I say, it's completely unmodified, and when it comes to transmit, ALC, AMC circuits, everything's still 100% intact. Nice clean radio. It's never really seen that much use from the looks of it. I'm not even going to re-grease the transistors, put new heatsink compound on there, because I just touch it. Yeah, this stuff is still juicy, moist. There's still lots of oil left in there, so it's not dried out. That stuff will be good for another probably 2 decades. Like I say, I just get the feeling this radio was never really used that much. The easiest way to tell is how clean it is on the inside. No matter how good you take care of the outside of your radio, if it gets used a lot, you have to remember air circulates through these things. That's why they have all these vent holes. And in your air, unless you have a completely sterile house, which I highly doubt, dust and dirt is going to circulate through the radio as well, and it all collects inside. I did not have to clean this one up at all. What you see is, there actually is a little bit of dust there. You can see, but that's it. I haven't cleaned it. I will vacuum it out before I put the cover back on it, but so this is the dirty radio, because I haven't actually cleaned it yet. So what I want to show is, like I say, receiver sensitivity, how good this radio receives. So what we have is my normal setup. The radio is connected to the communications test set over here, and we're going to be measuring SYNAD. Now, SYNAD is basically what that is, what you're looking for, is the minimum amount of input signal into the radio to attain 12 dB SYNAD. And 12 dB SYNAD is commonly understood as the minimum level for clear, intelligible communications. So that's basically the landmark, or the point you're shooting for, is you definitely want to get at least 12 dB SYNAD at the minimum amount of input signal. So I'll turn the volume up here, and the external speaker jack on this is running to the communications test set. So it's currently putting out a signal at 0.05 microvolts, which is a minus 133 dBm into the radio, and then the external speaker jack is hooked back up to the communications test set, and on that meter right there, that's going to be measuring SYNAD. So I turn the volume up, and 0.05 microvolts, or minus 133 dBm, is as low as the output will go on that communications test set. And you can see we have a 19 point whatever. Yeah, it fluctuates a little bit, especially when you get the signal down that low. But basically a 19 dB SYNAD, you cannot get, you probably could get better than that. But out of a CB radio, man, that is a smoking good receive sensitivity. That is just phenomenal. Now we're in the lower sideband currently. Now AM receive on this is actually very good. So I'll switch over to AM. It's fluctuating right around 11 to 12. So I'd call that one right at 0.1 microvolts for a good steady. Actually, it's fluctuating between 12 and it hits 13 every once in a while. And 0.1 microvolts is minus 127 dBm. So that is excellent receive sensitivity for AM as well. Actually, if that even if that's at that sensitivity level, that would be fantastic for sideband. But that's a great sensitivity level for AM. Sideband's always going to be better because the radio, between the crystal filters and whatnot, your receive sensitivity is always going to be better on sideband. But this radio has basically phenomenal receive sensitivity out of a stock radio. 100% stock other than a cap change. So that's why I always tell people. They ask me what radio should I buy? I want a good radio, and they ask me what new radio out there should I get? I want to have really good ears. Well, there aren't any. Unfortunately, nobody makes good radios anymore. That have really good sensitivity. Not saying that a lot of these new radios are junk, but they just don't have the build quality and the quality of components and the circuitry that a lot of these older radios did, and this radio just goes to prove it. So basically, out of the box, unmodified condition, phenomenal reception sensitivity. So there you go. There's just another example of why the classics are so sought after. And the price on them, these are actually, radios like this are actually getting to be a good investment because the price just keeps going up and up as people realize, especially people that are switching from those black box radios over to something like this. And the first time they use one of these, they get fantastic transmit audio reports, and first time they listen on sideband on one of these things, a lot of times people are just blown away how much quieter the receive is on one of these, and how weak a signal they can pick up with this that they couldn't with their previous radio. So there you go. There's why the classics are so much better.